The safety of top U.S. officials is under scrutiny once again tonight after an intruder entered the home of President Biden's national security advisor, Jake Sullivan. Our senior justice correspondent, Evan Perez, is joining us along with CNN law enforcement analyst, the former Secret Service agent, Jonathan Wackrow. Evan, first of all, walk us through what happened during this encounter inside the home of the national security advisor to the president.
Well, Wolf, this incident happened in the early morning hours around 3 a.m. This happened in late April. Jake Sullivan encountered this person inside his home and confronted this person. It appears that Sullivan, at least what he told investigators, is that he believed the person appeared to be intoxicated. He got the person to leave the home. The big part of this, though, was that the person got in to his home despite the fact that he had a Secret Service detail outside of the home, and the Secret Service detail never saw the person either come in or leave the home. Wolf.
Yeah, it's very disturbing indeed. And Jonathan, you're a former Secret Service agent. How did this happen on the Secret Service's watch there at the home of the president's national security advisor?
Well, stating the obvious, Wolf, something went drastically wrong in this situation. That evening, while these agents were providing residential security protection, they weren't providing the 360-degree protection that is applied in part of the Secret Service methodology. Now, while the National Security Advisor was not injured, nothing was taken from the residence, it doesn't take away from the seriousness of this incident. And to that point, officials that I spoke to at the Secret Service have guaranteed that they are going through a rigorous mission assurance investigation to prove that this was an isolated incident, that these were actions that these agents took, or really to the point that they did not take, while applying their protective structure to the residents, and not systemic to the agency as a whole. And I do believe that. I was on this detail. The National Security Advisor falls under the Presidential Protection Division. I had spent a lot of time with the National Security Advisor during my time in the Secret Service, and it is a critical protective assignment because of the role that the NSA plays in the administration. But for these agents not to be aware that, one, there was an intruder on the property, two, that this intruder got into the residence, and three, engaged with your protectee, that has to undergo the rigor of a serious investigation to figure out what happened and ensure that it never happens again within the Secret Service.
They got to learn lessons and make sure that the post-mortem they're doing is thorough. Evan, first of all, has anyone been arrested?
No, Wolf, there's been no arrest. And look, the Secret Service did provide a statement telling us that they're doing the investigation that Jonathan just talked about, and they said in part that modifications of the protective posture have also been made to ensure that additional security layers are in place as we conduct this comprehensive review. It's clear, Wolf, that they're looking at what happened here. They know that obviously this ended without any harm to Jake Sullivan or his family, but certainly it's something that should never have happened, and they're trying to make sure that they add layers to that securities to make sure that nobody can get in there like happened last month.
Jonathan, this failure by these Secret Service agents at the home of the president's national security advisor, how extraordinary is this kind of failure?
This is a significant failure. And when I was in the Secret Service, one thing that we would say is complacency kills. And here, it seems like during a midnight shift, these agents became complacent. They weren't maintaining the protective structure that's necessary for a protectee of the United States Secret Service. We always talk about the protective methodology being applied. 360 degrees at all times in all directions. That obviously was not applied in this instance, and that's where the focus of the investigation is going to be. This deviates from all of the protective structure that the Secret Service applies to every single protectee. Why was this incident different, and why were these agents not aware that this individual had come onto the property and actually gained entry into the residence? Just absolutely unacceptable and stunning.
And Wolf, I think one of the things we're certainly hearing from the Secret Service is that based on what their investigation finds, there might be repercussions for these agents, there might be disciplinary procedures, there might be additional training that might be mandated for some of these agents to make sure that something like this doesn't happen.
Yeah, they got to really, really be careful. All right, Evan Perez, Jonathan Wackrow, guys, thank you very much. Our reporting on the incident at Jake Sullivan's home comes only a day after a man with a metal baseball bat actually attacked a U.S. congressman's office. Our Brian Todd is joining us right now. Brian, these acts of violence are driving home the life and death stakes right now for so many top U.S. officials, their families, and their staff.
Right, well, so many members of Congress now telling CNN they're now reassessing security at their home district offices, at their family homes. We've got new information tonight on the security risks that members are facing, and we do have to warn viewers that some of you may find some of the video in this story disturbing.
Listen to my friend from Texas.
Congressman Gerry Connolly told CNN his district office in Fairfax City, Virginia, was an easy target for a man wielding a metal baseball bat.
Enraged, in an enraged state.
The suspect injured 2 of Connolly's aides with the bat and damaged much of the office. Connolly said his staff was still cleaning up the blood this morning. He told CNN's Manu Raju this incident exposes a hole in security for members of Congress.
I think we're going to have to reassess the security we provide or don't provide district offices. If you're in a commercial office space like me, you have no security, none.
House Speaker Kevin McCarthy says he spoke to Connolly about the incident and said this about security at members' district offices.
It's something you have to be continually cognizant of. And what we've done in the past is we've put more money in where people could protect and look at their district offices.
Connolly says he's met with Capitol Police Chief Tom Manger to discuss beefing up security at his office. Today, Chief Manger told a House committee about the alarming rise in threats against lawmakers.
It's gone up over 400% over the last 6 years.
Manger cited the most disturbing, high-profile attacks against members of Congress and their families, like the assault in late October targeting then-Speaker Nancy Pelosi's husband, captured on this police body cam video.
Drop the hammer.
Nope.
Hey. What is going on right now?
I'm not getting an answer on calls.
These incidents spotlight what could be the toughest challenge for Capitol Police and the Secret Service, protecting members at their homes and offices back in their home districts. The U.S. Capitol Police doesn't protect those unless there's a specific known threat to that member. Starting last summer, lawmakers can receive up to $10,000 each to secure their homes. And a GOP source tells CNN members can get funds to secure their offices with equipment like intrusion detection and video monitoring.
Extremely minimal, especially since the Capitol Police have that disadvantage. They don't have a field office infrastructure like Secret Service and FBI to protect their jurisdictions.
From former Secret Service agent Matt Doherty, who once wrote guidance for how to protect lawmakers, recommendations that could be implemented almost immediately. Have a vestibule of double glass doors, require visitors to be buzzed in, and train staff to spot trouble.
Hopefully, if they're trained in observing concerning behaviors, they would know that this person was a little off and perhaps not buzz them in.
Capitol Police Chief Tom Manger recently discussed the need to provide extra layers of security for members of Congress, but he was very careful about one aspect of their plans. He said he couldn't disclose details of those improvements because, quote, we cannot afford to make it easier for any potential bad actors.